I'm back. It's been, I noticed, 3 months since I did my last YouTube video. A lot has happened, but also hasn't happened. I think I just needed to focus on just one thing at a time. Which, of course, in this video is organising my studio so I can get back to work. It's been a long process. And I've had so much going on in my life. I mean, Louis is 6 months old now. Trying to get back to work, living in a renovation house. It's been a process. And my brain is just like ticking at 1,000,000 miles an hour, trying to think of like trying to do every single thing and accomplish every single thing. But I realised that I just need to focus on one and get one thing done, dusted, and then that will be good for my mental state. But yeah, so in this video I show a renovation process. It was on a budget. I literally, Mum bought a few things because obviously I couldn't. But literally the only thing we bought was a shelving unit and some drawers, but we do need another set of drawers. That's only because this space is also mine and Mum's. Mum and I both do a lot of craft, a lot of creating. Other than local collective, I do have Dark Thorn. So this is actually my Dark Thorn studio. And trying to fit in my whole shop. If anyone had seen my shop, it was a large space. I mean, I didn't have an immense amount of stock, but it was a lot of stock to try and fit into this tiny space. Like this building would probably be like 12 metres by 8 metres. I think Mum said it's like a 3-car garage. So trying to fit it all in effectively, because for the last, when did I close the boutique? It was December. It's been 5 months. So for the past 5 months, I've been living in organised chaos down here, and I've hated coming down here. I've hated creating content because I just come down here and my brain just could not focus because there was just like crap everywhere. And I don't mean like junk. I mean like there was just boxes of clothes not stacked away, because mentally I just don't think I could bring myself to do it, especially with 2 kids. So I've got a toddler and a 6-month-old. So finally cracked down this week and actually said, no, let's do it. We need to move things around. We need to buy some more storage, but try and keep minimal but effective. So we've moved some things around, fit everything in. I'm happy with the space. I mean, it probably doesn't look aesthetically pleasing to the eye. To me, I love it. Like the shelving unit that I've set up, I love. It's got a lot of Dark Thorn in there. It's got all of my newspaper clippings from all my newspaper features, as well as all my magazines stacked up that Dark Thorn's been featured in. It's just kind of like a little, what did you call it? Like a little oddities, bits and bobs, like a memoirs, I don't know. But I love it. And I've also got my Pops writing desk underneath, which you can fold out, and that will be my designing desk when I get back to Dark Thorn. So I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, in this process of trying to get everything in here effectively for local, I also had to think that, okay, in the long run, Dark Thorn needs to take over again. So how can I design this space so it's effective for local, but can also be morphed back into Dark Thorn when need be. And also, there's so many stations. So in my mind, I finally decided to split the space up into, so I had my wrapping station, my photography set, which is where I'm sitting. I mean, I should turn my lights on, but I need an extension cord. So my photography station, my wrapping station, my sewing station, my designing station, my clothes hanging station. I think that's about it so far. And then I needed a space to store all my fabric. So before I had fabric like stacked over here, I had fabric stacked over there, which I'm going to get to eventually when I get back to Dark Thorn. we also have two obstacles in the way that we could not move. So Mum and Dad have this huge 8-ball table, and it's literally in the middle of the studio, and it's heavy as hell. We cannot move it, cannot spin it. I think Mum said from memory when we moved it down here back when I was a kid, Alex used to be behind our lounge room. It took like 8 men to move, and they struggled to lift it. So cannot move that. But it's an amazing fabric cutting workspace when we get back to dark thorn and Victorian toilet, like kids' clothes or anything that requires craft. It's such a big space. We've got like a piece of glass over the top. So that's one obstacle. And the second obstacle is that there's a bar that my brother made, because before I took over this space, it was my dad's like man cave. Sorry, Dad. I think Dad only had it for about 6 months before I took over when I was 18 or 19. I can't remember what I was before I turned this into my studio. But it also needed to be a practical space for my mum as well, because she sews. She likes to get crafty with like crickets. She also makes candles, but she makes them up at the house. So for the past 3 months, I have filmed a bit, but my brain's just been that scattered that I can't stick to just one thing. Like what I said before, like I can't stick to just one thing. My brain's just like jumping from like a million different things. So I filmed little bits and pieces just to fill you in rather than showing you the footage, because it's probably crap. Is our ceiling's up in the kitchen. It's now painted too. Thank you, Kobe. Louis' ceiling's painted. I'm trying to think what else has been done in the past 3 months. I'll do another video later, but we have also just ordered the kitchen. There's things in place that have like deadlines now than when things are getting done. So I'm pretty excited. So hopefully soon we'll get a kitchen. But let me show you what I've done. And this is what we are dealing with. I already started over there putting some stuff over. Still got women's clothes and all of those boxes to put away, but yeah. Smile. I still can't believe we've actually done it. We've actually somehow figured out how to sort everything out, and it's all clean now. It means my mental health is clean. This is good. Alright, so this is my space. I mean, that's where I was just sitting, so my water bottle and everything's on the table. I just haven't plugged in my lights, which I just said before. So this is my little photography section over here with my backdrop, and then the entry door's there. If anyone knows any storage for kids' coat hangers, tell me please, because I hate coat hangers and I don't know what to do with kids' ones. They drive me insane. So that's the bar there. So behind that is my wrapping station, and then I've got shoes all stacked behind there. And this is the 8-ball table I was telling you about. So it's a huge surface to work on, and then I've got all my fabric underneath. So literally all underneath there is rolls and rolls and rolls of fabric for me to use later on. And then over here, sorry, I'm losing breath. Is this just like a postpartum thing where you just can't breathe? But anyway, so I've got my shoes, which I took to Paris, which I've also got stacked here for if I do photo shoots for Dark Thorn or anything else really. And then I've got 2 sets of big cubes. That cube used to be over the other side of the wall when I brought it over here to stack all kids' clothes. There's some women's clothes down the bottom, but stack it all in there away. I've got blankets and everything and shoes and handbags all stacked up there. And then I've got my rails, 3 here. There's Dark Thorn there, and then local over here. And then just some more cubes with some kids' clothes and kids' shoes on the top. And then some little kids' racks with all the clothes. And then over here I've just got, these are my Dark Thorn samples. So if I was to do photo shoots, these are my samples to photo shoot with. It's a mess behind there, don't want to show you. I haven't organised behind there yet. And this is Mum's sewing desk and my sewing desk. We'll get to it eventually. I just didn't really organise this section because we don't need it yet. And this is the, if I step back, I need to go back a bit, the big shelving unit that we got to store more things in. So this is just from Ikea and we had to build it ourselves. Funny story, Mum and I, like these here, I mean, you can see how tall they are, right? Let me just go back. Don't worry, I'm wearing thongs, so they're just like flopping around. We had to fit that in Mum's car when we went to Adelaide, and I went to open her boot and her boot locked. Like, it would not open. So here we are shoving these, like they almost reached the roof, shoving all of this into her Prado through the passenger door. It would have been a sight. I swear someone should have filmed us. But so he somehow got it in, but it was an adventure and a half. So in the cabinets down here, I've actually got Mum's, all of her smocking magazines. I've got all my fabric swatches and some other bit of study stuff down there. That's my Pop's writing desk. So obviously it's got all my design stuff. On top of my Pop's writing desk, I actually didn't realise I did this, but on the top of my Pa's writing desk is my grandma's dressmaking books. I didn't realise that I actually put it on top of there. Like, I didn't put two and two together. But I love all of her books. It's got heaps of like everything she learnt. I've also got my Nana's books too from when she went to TAFE. They're in the bottom. And over here is all of my books that I kind of refer back to. Some are business books, some are fashion books. But there's all my textbooks. We've just put that there for now because I have no idea where to put it. This little thing, we need one of these. This has got all of our craft in it. So like, it's not organised, so don't expect like an awesome organised video yet. So the top's all my corsetry. This is all jewellery and other craft that I do. This is leather. And then these last two are all cricket stuff. Oh God, they're like shoved in there. So yeah, we need another one or maybe even two. So that's all cricket. And then on the top I've got like my pin board, which still has a lot of the original stuff from years ago stuck to it. Like, I actually haven't changed that. And then this was my mum's little like sewing. I love it. It's so cute. I'm very like sentimental and I love all this kind of stuff. So this was her little sewing thing back when she was younger. But yeah, so in all of this, I mean these, so this is an antique Scottish flag. And these are my main books I usually look to for inspiration. I've also got some more stacked up here. Actually no, I don't look to these ones for inspiration. These are just some good fashion books, but some of them were too thick to really put anywhere. This one here is another one that I always look to inspiration for, but it's too thick to fit in there. And these are all my magazines that Dark Thorn's featured in, so they're all stacked up there. Up there is all of my study, so they're all my certificates that I have done over the years, and there's all my newspaper clippings, and Mum actually kept one of my first ever Dark Thorn tags and one of my first ever Dark Thorn lookbooks. So there's all my newspapers. I actually don't know where my cover of the Advertiser's gone. I'm like, Mum, where's it gone? I need to put it in, like, that's my main one of newspaper clippings, but I can't find it anywhere. And then there's just some little intricate things here. These need to go in our renovation house actually, because this is my Nana. Great Nana, I should say. So pictures of my great Nana. And then some patterns there that I bought a while ago. And then just some more things that I love. My shadow's in the way. I'm a great videographer. These are actually antique Victorian era boots. This was Mum's and I thought it was really cute. I've realised I've had it for years, but I love it. Yeah, so all my antiques in there. But yeah, so that's that little storage unit section. But yeah, so this was on a budget. Literally the only thing that I ended up buying extra was that unit and this shelving unit, which actually wasn't that expensive. So for local collective, I'm thinking the path at this exact moment in time, Mum and I are thinking of slowly dissolving it, not completely, but we haven't actually ordered in any more stock. So the last stock coming in is winter stock for Arthur Avenue. I tried to cancel all my winter stock, but there was some I couldn't cancel, so I had to get them in, which was hard, but I managed. Well, we managed, I should say. So that's why I'm trying to sell off all the stock, and eventually I think keeping local. I haven't decided whether I want a local collective boutique or to transfer across to Tori-Anne as a space where Mum and I can create what we do and have an outlet to sell it. I mean, I know I've got dark Thorn, but I'd like to keep that somewhat separate to the other creative pathways that Mum and I do, because I don't think they really blend some of the things. So I mean, I love making kids clothes. I'm thinking of doing a kids line with dark Thorn. Mum makes her candles. I can do candles on dark Thorn too, I know that. And we've been wanting to get into a lot of cricket stuff, crafty things. I've got a few things in my brain that I don't really want to disclose just yet, of things that I would love to create for dark Thorn and for whatever other, whether we want to take on local or Victoria Antoinette. It's just hard because I've spent so many years building up local. And it's like one of those things you just can't let go of. I don't know. And I've met so many amazing people, and even so many like amazing designers and business owners, and I feel horrible that they've lost me as a customer because I can't continue going with local, because local collective just didn't fill that void that I needed. I mean, I originally started Local Collective Boutique to have an outlet, a boutique, like an actual shop front space where I could sell other brands but work on dark Thorn behind the scenes, and that just didn't happen. Local Collective took over. I was listening to what people wanted. I got it in. I created, I mean, I loved my boutique. But yeah, it didn't fill that spot for me. I mean, dark Thorn was everything to me, and it still is. So I'm going to go back to that. I mean, I went to Paris. That was the highlight of my career, and then I just went on a break, and then I met my partner, and then took on my stepdaughter, and then started local. Like, there was just so many things that have happened in the past 4 years, and then obviously I had Louis, that I feel like I needed that break, but I just have this like urge within me that I need to go back to dark Thorn, and it's gonna happen. So I'm actually going to go back starting to study. One thing I never learned within fashion is pattern making, so I'm going to go and learn pattern making so that I can actually make my own clothes, especially this day and age. Like, dark Thorn was always a small collection based label. I only got a certain amount made, but I was outsourcing production within Australia. My pattern making, my pattern drafting, my sample making, and my production was all outsourced, obviously within Australia though, not overseas, because I didn't have the time to sit down and study. And I feel like right now is the time that I've got, even though I don't have that much time because I got local and kids or whatever, but I feel like now is the time that I can sit down and study. And I want to sit down and do pattern making so I can make my own samples, my own patterns, and produce my own small capsule collections for dark Thorn. And then if dark Thorn then takes off again, then I might outsource production. But at this moment in time, I feel like I'll either outsource or I'll hire someone. But in this moment in time, I feel like I need to bring it back down to earth. I need to start from the bottom again, not start from where I left it. But yeah, I've missed dark Thorn. It's my creative outlet. It always has been. It's my baby. I spent 7 years, excluding the past 3. I spent 10 years. It's been 10 years since dark Thorn. That's crazy. Most people usually have a big like 10-year birthday for their brands, but here I am. But I also didn't start Dark Thorn from where most people know it. I started when I was 18 in 2014. And I was printing my drawings onto t-shirts and making skater skirts on Etsy. That's how it actually started. So when you read most of my interviews, I usually say Dark Thorn started in 2016. That's because that's, to me, when I expanded Dark Thorn, when I actually sat down and I designed intricate designs. I mean, I know it's not an aesthetically pleasing. To me it is, like when I'm in this space on my shelving unit, it's like if I was sitting there designing and I look up at all my little bits and bobs, it's inspiring to me. But it's just a space I've made work. It's clean, it's organised, besides the wrapping station and whatever, that's the next project. But yeah, I'm happy with how it's turned out. So anyway, if you want to support both of my businesses, you can go to localcollectiveboutique.com. Most of our items are 25% off, up to 75% off, because we are clearing stock. We have so many, if you're Australian, you'd know all the brands. I mean, Local Collective only stocked Australian brands. Like kids brands like Astronaut, Minnehaha, Rock Your Baby, they're all up to 75% off. Women's brands such as like Arnhem, Sauveur, St. Helena, King Asilla, they're also, most of them are on special. I think the only ones that aren't is the most recent-ish collection from Arnhem. I'm trying to think what other women's clothes are not on special. And the only things on the kids' clothes that aren't on special is the most recent Minnehaha Winter and Arthur Avenue Winter. I'm trying to think what else has come in. I think that's it. Literally everything else is on special. Grab a bargain. If you don't know Dark Thorn, we've also got a code for there as well. So you can get 15% off everything online. So you go darkthornclothing.com and you can use the code welcome back for 15% off. I'm so excited for what's to follow. I'm so glad I've like picked myself up and kind of have given myself, I guess, the up and go to keep going. I definitely want to get back to Dark Thorn. That's my baby, that's my outlet, that's me. Like when I can still remember coming, like when I lived here at home, I'd come down, I'd sit down here all day, creating, crafting. Like I remember with like Highland, which was my most expensive, my most intricate collection I had ever done for Dark Thorn. I made all the leather, I made like belts, bags, collars, like chokers. It was the most intricate thing I'd ever done, obviously, because we were going to Paris. And I can still remember coming down here, and it feels so good that this is still my studio many, many years later. So, yeah, I hope you can support me. And if you want to see more of this, I'm going to integrate my work life, my family life, well, not family life, but, you know, motherhood, and my renovations all into this one YouTube channel. So it's just an outlet for me to express my feelings, if you want to listen to them. Anyway, see you next time. So yeah, I had to do this studio on a budget.